Hey everybody, what is going on? It is Dunbar Snackbar here. Let's get to this. We're going to go ahead and continue on with the Detroit Tigers franchise. Well, 8 days till pitchers and catchers report, and here I am, still finishing things up. Anyway, so we swept the Angels. The last 2 games were really exciting because Game 2 was a walk-off hit. Game 3, it ended up being a home run by Prince Fielder in the top of the 9th that ended up getting us the win. So I was pretty happy about that. Justin Verlander starting off ALCS game number 1. The computer wanted me to pitch with Turner at the beginning, and I'm like, what would the point of that be? You know, in case things go sour really quick, I would want my best pitcher to have as much rest as possible, so I'm switching things up here and starting with Verlander. Speaking of starting things off, this is pretty crazy. It seems like he didn't want to do anything at all right there, so Peralta has to come by, go ahead and get the throw over to first. Not what I was wanting out of Miguel Cabrera, especially at the beginning of the game. That was like pitch number 1. All right, not too cool. So it is a big surprise here that the Mariners have made it to the ALCS. They are definitely the Cinderella team here in the postseason, having won the AL West. It's kind of like my A's. They won the AL West, and that was a big surprise to everybody. But the fact that they went ahead and won their divisional series kind of goes to show they're not a team to be messed with. But I don't know, if I had that much success against a really good Angels team, I could probably go ahead and win this one against the Mariners. They had the series, by the way, against the Blue Jays. So a couple teams that I thought were a little bit of a surprise here to make it into the postseason. But Mariners have won. Gosh, that would be crazy if I go ahead and I sweep the ALDS and the ALCS too. But we'll see how things go. Strikeout for Verlander right here, making it so we've got 1 out. So if I can go ahead and get a ground ball on the next at bat, we can get a double play and we could be done and over with this. Pitch number 2. Ooh, it's going to be a hit instead. I thought maybe we'd be seeing a double play right there, but no, now we've got runners on first and second. JV actually had some problems in the ALDS. Game number 1 was not pretty with him here, and it's looking like things are not going to be too pretty right here either, as a run is going to go ahead and come home. So we're down 1-0 here with runners on first and third, still with 1 out. So here I go thinking Justin Verlander is going to be in regular season form, going ahead and just getting a ton of strikeouts, being very dominant on the mound, but that has just not been the case here in the postseason, and this is when I really need him the most. So very disappointing that that is how it's turning out, but we're still in inning number 1. And here we go, Rayburn over to Peralta to Fielder. There we go. We get that double play that I was anticipating that we would get. So we get out of that one only with 1 run. Austin Jackson reaching for that one, but it goes into right field, and he's going to get to first safely. Now with the way things are going, he's definitely on track to break the record for the most postseason steals, which I was told was at 11. So I can't remember where he's at right now, but I know he hasn't broken it quite yet. He's going to be safe there at second, and then I'm going to go ahead and go over to third. That would have been a great pitch to go ahead and swing for, but I thought getting that base here was going to be a little bit more important than swinging at that one. So no outs, runner 90 feet away from home. This is exactly how I like to start games off here with the Tigers here. So that hit going into right field is going to fall just short, and that's going to allow Austin Jackson to come home. So that is why I enjoyed speed so very much on my team, because I can definitely utilize it with some aggressive base running, and that allowed us to get the run, which if I hadn't done anything, we'd just be looking at runners on first and second in a potential double play situation again. Speaking of which, that is pretty crazy. He dives, and as he's diving, he touches second and throws it over to first. So not bad. It's kind of a good play here. I'm really glad that Austin Jackson headed over to third here and stealing that base, because that could have been a triple play. But that's going to be another hit for the Mariners. Seems like consistency right now with hitting is something they're doing very good at right now. Game still tied 1 run apiece. So I got to go ahead and try to find a way to be able to stop them. So now that we're back into things here with baseball, I'm going to go ahead and try and post again every single day. Tomorrow, maybe a little bit of a day off for me. We will have to see what happens. But yeah, I'm thinking about doing a live stream on Sunday as well. I wanted to let you guys know about that. Probably going to be around, I'm going to say 5 Central is how it's going, is what I'm thinking it's going to take place. I know some of you guys really wanted to know when I was going to do live streams and stuff like that. I'm going to try to do one this Sunday here. Let's see if I can get Tom to come too, because anytime that Tom comes on the live stream, I think it gets a lot better, but I still have to ask him. And hopefully, Tom, you're not watching this and consider this your invitation. I got to go ahead and tweet you and let you know. But anyway, let's get back to the game here. Got a single right here. Maybe we'll get some things going here in the third inning now. Here we go with Delman Young knocking this one into left field. That's going to go ahead and allow me to bring a runner over to third. So we got Rayburn on third, Delman Young on first. I'm going to go ahead and try and steal. That's another one I probably could have swung at and been all right to go ahead and do. But got 2 runners in scoring position now. Oh, is that Austin Jackson? My bad. I said Delman Young. I meant Austin Jackson. I'm not starting over. I'm 6 minutes into this thing. All right. This power curve going into right field. That's going to allow me to go ahead and get Rayburn to tag up and come home. Now, I'm kind of going back and forth, actually, here in the postseason with Rayburn and Scudero. Just kind of switching both of them here over at second. I really can't decide on who I'd want to have, because it seems like in some situations it is better to go with Rayburn, others with Scudero. It's kind of crazy, and probably would be a lot of drama if this was real. But here's a good hit. This is going to be an extra baser. He's coming around first, head over to second, and I'm going to get there standing up. So for Miguel Cabrera, that's not too bad. Still, I kind of wish he would not have gone ahead and messed up earlier, like on the first pitch, just letting that one go off of his ankle. I'm lucky he didn't get injured, to be honest. But all right, so no outs here. This is a pretty good situation for us. 2-1 is the score, but I'm not able to capitalize on that one, which is pretty crazy. This one goes up the middle, almost hits Justin Verlander. Kind of hoping that it did, because with this game, a ball can hit a pitcher, doesn't hurt them, and they'll be able to know exactly where it is and throw somebody out at first. So nothing against Justin Verlander, but for the game's sake, it could have hit him and I would have been all right. So runners on first and second now, still getting a lot of hits against Verlander, which is very disappointing here. And I'm trying to do a lot of things to mix things up. Sticking with the pitches that work, trying to not create a pattern. I'm going to go ahead and bunt it right here. Alex Avila throwing it over to first. Runners on second and third here with 2 outs now. 0-2 count. Miguel Cabrera, thank you for making up for that one earlier a little bit. And I'm going to get out of that jam, so I'm kind of happy about how that one ended up. 6th inning now. Justin Verlander kind of doing a little bit better here in the 6th. Is definitely what I need to be able to see from him. Like I said, I'm going ahead and I'm going to see how far I can go with him here, because I got to strike a good balance of how much do I want to use him in case I need him later on versus, when do I go ahead and pull him so he's got, as much rest as possible. So trying to find the good balance, but as long as there is still 1 run on the board, I'm going to go ahead and keep him in here unless it's a safe situation in the 9th. Luckily, because of the way that this game goes and how I've got it all figured out here with pitching, I shouldn't say all figured out here, otherwise that'd be like perfect gaming all the time. But because of how things are going, I think I'm going to be okay, because my pitch count is usually pretty far down. And that's something that's really good to see. All right, so get out of that one here. 7th inning. Going into center field, Austin Jackson having to run this one down. There's been a lot of offense here in this video, if you guys have not noticed. A lot of highlights here with both teams getting some hits. 7th inning now still. 7th inning still. See, I'm still rusty after being gone for a week. It's kind of crazy, because commentary is not a thing you can, ride a bicycle after a long time. You can still do it. No, you got to get worked back into it here. So this is the first baseball video I've done in a while. I'm kind of afraid what's going to happen when I actually start playing it again, too. Delman Young having to run over to that one. It's going to get caught. I get out of that jam. Thank you, Delman Young, for running that one down. 8th inning. Here we go with a hit into left field. Runner on first. All right, so we got no outs here. I am kind of worried about hitting into a double play, but at the same time, I've got the big 3 coming up. Victor Martinez hitting this one into right field. That'll put runners on first and second. Now we've got Miguel Cabrera coming up next, who he can definitely hit for power. So I'm kind of hoping that if he goes ahead and gets a big hit, or Prince Fielder comes in and gets a big hit, we can get some runs on the board. Maybe even a home run if things kind of work out here pretty well. All right, so Miguel Cabrera hitting this one. All right, that's going to be another run for us here. Still runners on first and second. So that's going to be 3-1 here at this point. Definitely coming away here in this game. Doing all right here. King Felix, who was pitching, is kind of had a rough game as well. So it seems like both teams' premier pitchers have been struggling throughout this one. Kind of not what I would expect here. But I guess my offense has been phenomenal throughout the year. Glad I selected the Tigers because they got a good mix, I think, between some speed but some really, really great power hitting. That's kind of what it is. Yeah, I guess really the only speedster that I have is Austin Jackson. But everybody else has been hitting well for contact or just hitting well for power. It's kind of continuing on here in the postseason. All right. So now we are up by a score of 4-1. And here we go in the 9th inning. I feel this is a good time to go ahead and bring out Verlander. Again, I don't want to go ahead and keep him in here for too long because that means that, you know, his energy is going to go down more than what it's needed. I have a bullpen. I need to use them. Now, since I've got this lead, I'm okay bringing Jose Valverde in at this point because if he goes ahead and gives up a run, I'm in all right shape. And gosh, he already blew one save here in the postseason in the ALDS here, and that was, I don't know, that was kind of heartbreaking here. Luckily, though, I did come back and I ended up winning, but still, I have lost some faith in him. And I'm kind of worried about what's going to happen here in the 9th inning. But at the same time, the Mariners don't have quite as good of an offense as the Angels have. Definitely the bats are a lot better over in Anaheim. But I do have some good pitches. I'm going to stay away from that splitter, though, because that's one of the things that I learned in the ALDS. I cannot throw that often. And if I do, looking at some hits, but here we go with the strikeout. Sorry, Wells, you got to sit down. Your last at-bat here for this game. Hopefully, who knows, maybe they'll get something going here. Get like a 2-out rally or something. But I guess they have to get an out to get a 2-out rally. All right. Got one down. I can get the next two here. I'm going to be sticking with some fastballs here primarily. Rayburn getting it over to fielder. That was crazy. I had enough time to go ahead and stop, get set up, throw it over to fielder, but for whatever reason I didn't do that. And almost paid the price for it. If that would have been an error, I would not have been happy with Ryan Rayburn. I would have been like, you know what, you are sitting down for the rest of the postseason. I'm going to go ahead and bring Scooter back in. But that's not what I'm all about. That's not what I'm going to do here. 2 outs now in the 9th inning here. Miguel Olivio coming up here. Had a good night, 2 for 3. A 3.08 average. That's not something that, not to laugh at here or anything. So I'm kind of worried he could get a hit. So I'm going to go ahead and just try and keep some of this to the outside here. Can't throw that 4-seamer anymore. Going to try and bring it in with the 2-seamer. That is going to go high in the center field. Austin Jackson will be able to get underneath that. And we are going to end game number 1 of the ALCS with a Detroit Tigers victory. Both teams had a good amount of hits here, but mine counted more. Looking at the score being 4-1. So make sure you guys check back here. I'm going to let you guys know on Facebook, Twitter, whichever here, if I'm going to be able to post videos tomorrow. Probably not looking too promising, but who knows, maybe I'll be able to get it done. You guys are phenomenal people. You really are. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Remember, I said Facebook, Twitter. You can follow me there, so go ahead and do that if you haven't already. But thank you again for watching. You are phenomenal people. Do not ever forget that. And as always, you guys, I hope you have a good one.